Dear students, today we will try to learn about factors affecting the value of CMC in aqueous media. So, there are basically five factors which affect this critical micelle concentration in aqueous solution. We are usually and in general focusing on a solution, basically the aqueous solution. That means solvent will always be the water in this case. So the first structure that affects the critical micelle concentration, that is the structure of the surfactant. In the structure of the surfactant, it will involve three factors basically: the hydrophobic chain length, the hydrophilic head, and the counter ions, or binding of those counter ions on the micelle. Okay. And the next factor will be the presence of added electrolytes in solution. How an electrolyte which is to be added to a surfactant solution, whether the CMC will increase, decrease, or what will happen, will be discussed. Okay. Next will be the presence in the solution of various organic compounds. How in various organic compounds uh, the CMC will change, whether that will increase or decrease or remain the same. So, and the fourth factor will be the presence of second liquid phase. That means when we change the solvent with two phase, that means the solvent consists of now two phases, but those are distinctive phases. One will be the liquid phase. What will happen to then the CMC? And the last factor that affects the critical micelle concentration will be the temperature. Okay. The usual trend for ionic surfactants of this temperature is when we increase the temperature, CMC usually increases. We will see it in the different lectures also, how this temperature affects. First, we will focus on the structure of the surfactant. What you have to remember is that the CMC basically in aqueous media, that always decreases as the hydrophobic or you can say carbon chain of the surfactant increases. That means as the carbon chain of the surfactant increases, the CMC value decreases. This is very important. CMC in aqueous solution media basically decreases as the hydrophobic character of this surfactant that increases. Okay. So we will now focus on the first factor, that is the structure of the surfactant. I told you that this structure of surfactant basically involves these three factors. That it means the hydrophobic group, that will be the simply the carbon chain of the ionic surfactant, and hydrophilic group, that means the head group, whether that is positively charged or negatively charged or non-ionic as well, and the counter ions. Counter ion in ionic surfactants are how they bind to. Suppose if it is negatively charged, it is counter ion will be positively charged. Suppose if it is sodium dodecyl sulfate, yeah, SDS, then it will be Na positive. This will be the just the counter ion. That means to balance this charge, this head group, if it is negatively charged, counter ion will be positively charged. If this is positively charged, counter ion will be negatively charged. So what you have to remember here, that CMC usually decreases as the number of carbon atoms in the hydrophobic group increases to but up to carbon 16. This is very important. Carbon 16. Now we are taking the general case of ionic surfactants. In ionic surfactants, what has been observed that CMC is halved. That means suppose if the CMC was suppose 9 millimole or suppose 8 millimole, it will be halved. That means it will be now 4 millimole by the addition of one methylene group. Suppose if this is a carbon chain, this is CH2, this is called methylene group, CH2. Similarly, it is attached to another CH2 and again CH2. Suppose if in a hydrophobic group, that means in an ionic surfactant you are just increasing the one methylene group in the chain, so that actually halves the CMC of that particular surfactant. This phenomenon is usually observed for ionic surfactants. Okay. Now the hydrophilic group, you are always taking the aqueous medium. Ionic surfactants have much higher CMCs than non-ionic surfactants containing equivalent hydrophobic groups. So if a surfactant contains a hydrophilic group, they usually have higher CMCs as compared to, suppose we have a surface active agent which is non-ionic, that will be having the less CMC as compared to the group. That means this head group always plays a greater role in the critical micelle concentration also. One more important point is for Zwitter ionics, that means which contain the both positive and negative parts in the same surfactant, they appear to have slightly smaller CMCs than the ionics with the same number of carbon atoms in the hydrophobic group. Now we will focus on a very important part. Usually the questions are based on this part also. So the counter ion in ionic surfactants, or you can say the degree of binding to the micelle, how that is determined, how that is denoted. Suppose we are doing a simple experiment where we have taken a conductometer and we are increasing the surfactant concentration, and usually what has been found, we have already done this, that it behaves up to a certain limit as a normal electrolyte. This is basically the behavior of normal electrolyte. Suppose NaCl, KCl, this will be the normal behavior. As you increase the concentration, it is supersonic conductance will increase. But what happens in case of these surface active agents? This is suppose the pre-slope, a point reaches where it shows a sharp break in the slope and a new slope is formed here. And you can see two slopes now. This will be the slope 1, this will be the slope 2nd. So this behavior is of ionic surfactants. Or in the last lecture you have also taken the equivalent conductance under root of concentration or normality. What we observed there, it first decreases to a certain limit, then an abrupt decrease in the slope occurs. So this is the same actually. This one we have taken here the equivalent conductance, which is equal to kappa superspecific conductance, we can change this superspecific conductance into equivalent conductance, and this is simply, suppose concentration C, we can change it to the under root of concentration, and if we plot this, we get this type of graph. Okay, I will show it once again for the people who didn't understand this last time, that if it is equivalent conductance, it is under root of concentration. The usual pattern for surface active agents is they decrease. This behavior is usually for strong electrolytes. But what happens in case of surface active agent is an abrupt decrease in the slope occurs. So this type of graph occurs. So this point, it represents the CMC. Here this point represents the corresponding. That means when you extrapolate this point to the x-axis, that means concentration, the minimum concentration at which the slope changes, or you can say from this point the micelles now begin to form. That means these type of structures. So what is simply, if we are considering a simple spherical micelle here, so it is negatively charged. These are heads negatively charged, and these are just hydrocarbon tails. That means this is a methylene groups are basically these. So what are these Na positive? These are nothing but these are counter ions. Okay. So how to calculate this degree of ionization and degree of binding? So there is obviously a clear break in this plot, but this is the case for ionic surfactants. You have to remember this will be the case for ionic surfactants. Suppose you are taking the non-ionic surfactants, those will not show the conductivity. Why? Because they do not have the ions there. Those are non-ionic. Okay, so but this is ionic. That means simply the ions are formed. Where the ions are formed, they will show the conductivity. So this is the usual graph of ionic surfactants, whether cationic or anionic. Okay. So from the graph, what we can, or from the plot, what we see, the break in the plot is due to binding some of the counter ions of the ionic surfactant. Why this slope changes after this point? I have already told you that after this point, the micelles begin to form. When micelles begin to form, obviously these counter ions, suppose it was first monomer, it was like this one, and it is, this is negatively charged, and Na positive would be there. Okay, because to counterbalance this charge. But when they begin to form micelles, these spherical type of structures, this negatively charged, and they have equivalent these counter ions there. So basically when they bind to this micelle, that is why the slope changes, or you can say the micelles begin to form now. Okay. So now to define various terms from this plot, or for degree of ionization, you can see it as a degree of dissociation also. That means the counter ions, how they dissociate from the, suppose this was a, this we consider the last case, that means the spherical micelle, where this is negative and Na positive or simply counter ions. This is called a degree of dissociation. That means when Na positive is leaving from the head group. So degree of dissociation or ionization, you can say it is denoted by alpha of the micelle near its CMC. And how it is obtained theoretically from the graph, we can simply write an equation for this. Degree of is equal to post slope. This is called post slope, what we have observed from the specific conductance. This is S2, this was S2, this will be the post slope, this will be the pre slope S1. Okay, so we are simply dividing S2 upon S1. First we have found the slope of this part, and slope of this part, because for a straight line slope will be always equal to only one quantity. So slope first find the S2, then find the S1, so that will be simply equal to S2 upon S1, that will be equal to degree of ionization. So S2 is nothing but slope above the break of the plot, and slope S1 is simply slope below the break of the plot. Okay, so the degree of binding of the counter ions to the micelle for a surfactant with a single ionic head group can also be written as, we have discussed above degree of ionization or dissociation, but what is now degree of binding? That is given by this formula 1 minus alpha. 1 minus alpha, that means you can, it is also denoted by beta, degree of binding beta, which is basically equal to 1 minus alpha. Sometimes a very simple question is asked on this, that suppose calculate here, calculate the degree of binding of counter ions and if degree of ionization is equal to zero point 0.2. So you know beta is equal to simply 1 minus 0.2 if it is given, because alpha is given here. You have to remember, you have to see whether it is degree of binding or degree of ionization. Degree of ionization is given, you can put the value here, it will be equal to 0.8. So this will be the degree of binding. So this is how sometimes you have to calculate degree of binding and or degree of ionization, degree of binding will be given. So very simple question is basically asked on this. Okay, now very important point from the degree of binding is, if we have a larger hydrated radius of the counter ion, suppose now the counter ion can be ammonium, potassium, sodium or lithium, uh, if they have more hydrated, that means we know from the previous knowledge, if a cation is very small, its hydrated radius will be more. So this is very small, its hydrated radius will be very more. That means lithium can attract the solvent molecules and they will adhere to it, and it will form a very large hydrated sphere. That means this ion will be actually having the largest size as compared to these ones. So obviously it is binding to the ionic head groups will be small. That means the larger the hydrated radius of the counter ion, the weaker will be the degree of binding. So you can uh, say the trend for these ammonium positive, potassium, sodium. Obviously, the size is small. For lithium, its hydrated radius will be more, so its degree of binding will be very less. So this is the trend what you observe for these four types of ions. Similarly, you know the size of I negative will be more, its hydrated radius will be less. Its size will be small as compared to lithium, iodine, Br negative ion, iodide or bromide ion. So if it is hydrated uh, radius is very large as compared to the iodide ion, so obviously its degree of binding will be less. So this was a very good question on degree of binding. This is usually asked in CSIR net also sometimes. So this is very, one more point regarding the CMC is that many scientists they investigated these type of surfactants and they gave an empirical different empirical equations. One of the equations given by Clemens, basically he related CMC with the number of carbon atoms in the hydrophobic chain by this simple relation log CMC is equal to A minus B into N. A is also constant, B is a constant, and N is number of carbon atoms in the hydrophobic chain or chain length. So you have to remember this is the first equation which was basically given for the CMC. This was given by Clemens. Okay. here A is a constant, but for a particular ionic head group, and it is constant at a particular temperature, at a given temperature. Its value changes when temperature changes, obviously. So B is also constant. It is of the order of 0.3. When you take the log of 2, that becomes 0.302. That is almost equal to 0.3. So you can take its value approximately equal to log 2. It is always equal to log 2, but at 35 degrees centigrade for ionic surfactants. Okay, I hope you understood this lecture. I have taken now the uh, from PDF mode to this mode so that you can get the pointers very clearly. So thank you.